On the grind, Teen Mom star announces she's back to stripping after show cancellation rumors as she poses in very short minidress. The rumors had been swirling for months, whispers tucked into comment sections, stitched into TikTok reactions, and dissected on fan forums late into the night. Was the long-running franchise that turned teenage motherhood into a cultural lightning rod finally over for good? And if it was, what would happen to the women whose lives had unfolded on screen, season after season, in a mix of heartbreak, hustle, and headline-grabbing drama?
Then came the post. One mirror selfie. One caption that hit like a drumbeat.
One very short minidress that left little to the imagination, but stopped well short of scandal. And 4 words that sent the internet into a frenzy: back to stripping. On the grind. In a matter of minutes, the Teen Mom universe cracked open again. The image itself was deceptively simple. The Teen Mom star, long familiar to viewers for her blunt honesty and unapologetic edge, stood in front of a full-length mirror, phone angled just so. The minidress clung like confidence itself, hemline daringly high, fabric hugging every curve, posture equal parts defiant and self-assured. Her hair was styled to perfection, makeup sharp but not overdone, eyes locked onto her reflection with a look that said she knew exactly what she was doing.
But it was the caption that did the heavy lifting. No shame. No apology. No attempt to soften the message. Just work. Just survival. Just reality.
Within hours, the post racked up thousands of likes and comments, some supportive, some judgmental, many simply stunned. Fans and critics alike rushed to interpret what it meant.
Was she confirming the show's cancellation?
Was this a temporary side hustle?
A long-term plan?
Or was it a pointed clapback to those who'd spent months speculating about her finances, her choices, her future? As always with Teen Mom, the truth was layered. For years, Teen Mom money had been a safety net, sometimes a golden parachute, sometimes a gilded cage. The franchise transformed ordinary young women into household names, paying them sums that dwarfed what most people their age could even imagine. With that money came opportunities, brand deals, sponsored posts, podcasts, clothing lines, OnlyFans accounts, speaking engagements, and, for a lucky few, long-term financial stability.
But reality TV is fickle. Contracts end. Storylines dry up. Networks pivot.
And when cancellation rumors start to sound less like gossip and more like inevitability, the pressure becomes real, fast. Sources close to the star say she'd seen the writing on the wall for months. Episodes delayed.
Calls unanswered. Producers vague.
The familiar rhythm of filming disrupted.
She's not stupid, one insider shared. She knew this could end at any time.
And she wasn't about to sit around waiting for the rug to be pulled out from under her. So she made a decision that shocked some, and earned respect from others.
She went back to work.
What many critics conveniently ignored was the word back. Before the cameras, before the confessional interviews and reunion specials, before the fame and the backlash, this Teen Mom star had already known how to hustle. Stripping wasn't some desperate last resort. It was part of her past, a chapter she'd never hidden from, even when viewers tried to weaponize it against her.
She talked about it openly in earlier seasons. How it helped her pay bills.
How it gave her flexibility when childcare was unpredictable. How it made her feel, at times, both empowered and judged. So when she announced she was back to stripping, it wasn't a fall from grace.
It was a return to something familiar. Something that paid.
Something that didn't require network approval. Of course, the minidress became a story of its own.
Fashion blogs weighed in.
Commentators dissected the look from every angle. Was it intentional? A tease? A statement? The answer, according to those close to her, was simple. It was her. She's always dressed for herself, a friend explained. If she wants to wear a short dress, she's going to wear short dress. That's not about anyone else. Still, the optics were impossible to ignore. In an era where women are endlessly scrutinized for how they present themselves, especially mothers, the image hit a nerve. Some fans applauded her confidence and refusal to conform. Others clutched their pearls, questioning how a mom could pose like that.
Her response? Silence.
No defensive posts. No explanations.
Just more content. More work.
More proof that she was, indeed, on the grind. The comment section quickly became a battlefield. Supporters flooded in with messages of encouragement. Do what you gotta do. Bills don't pay themselves.
At least she's honest. Respect. She's always been a hustler.
This isn't new. But critics were just as vocal.
This is sad.
What happened to growth? Think of your kids. Guess the teen mom money really dried up. The divide was familiar, almost comforting in its predictability. Teen mom fans have been arguing about these women's choices for over a decade, and this was just the latest flashpoint. What stood out, though, was how little the star seemed to care. She knew people would talk, an insider said. That's never stopped her before. Timing is everything, and the timing of her announcement couldn't have been more explosive. For weeks, fans had noticed signs that something was off with the show.
Cast members going quiet. Filming schedules disrupted. Network silence.
Cryptic posts hinting at new chapters and fresh starts. Her post felt like confirmation without confirmation. By saying she was back to stripping, many interpreted it as an admission that the teen mom checks were no longer reliable, or were gone altogether. The network, as usual, declined to comment. She didn't confirm or deny anything either. But actions speak louder than press releases. What gets lost in the shock value is a simple truth. Reality TV doesn't last forever. For every star who parlayed their fame into lasting wealth, there are dozens who had to pivot, sometimes dramatically, when the cameras stopped rolling.
Some opened businesses that quietly failed.
Others returned to school.
Some faded into anonymity by choice.
And some, like this teen mom star, went back to work they already knew. There's this idea that once you've been on TV, certain jobs are beneath you, a media analyst noted.
But that's not how real life works.
Fame doesn't pay rent.
Consistency does.
In that context, her decision looked less like a scandal and more like a strategy. The word stripping still carries weight. It sparks debates about empowerment, exploitation, agency, and morality, especially when mothers are involved. Supporters argue that choosing to strip is no different than choosing any other job, particularly when it offers flexibility and financial independence. Critics counter that it reinforces harmful stereotypes and exposes children to future judgment. The teen mom star didn't wade into the debate.
She didn't need to. Her caption said enough.
Strip away the shock factor, the short hemline, the cancellation rumors, and the internet noise, and what remains is a message many found uncomfortable precisely because it was so honest.
She wasn't pretending everything was fine. She wasn't selling a fantasy.
She wasn't waiting for a network to save her.
She was working.
In an economy where even former reality stars aren't immune to instability, that honesty hit hard.